Hello, everybody, and the Habs. Wow. The Canadiens came back. They scored big time tonight. The Montreal Canadiens came back while they were down 4-1, and they win in a shootout 6-5. Honestly, I'm speechless. The Habs are now 1-0-1. Beating their secondary division rivals, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Not 100% sure if y'all can see the board. Hopefully you can. I did my shitty little Habs logo up here instead of the big Montreal Canadiens because I was going to put Price's save percentages. But after the fourth goal, I was like, never mind. This man, Brendan Gallagher, he was fantastic tonight. We're going to get into him. We're not going to get into him, but we're going to get into his stats and what he did tonight in just a few minutes. But first, if you like the stream, please share it with everyone that you can. Wow, I'm really speechless about the game that we just saw. The Montreal Canadiens, as I just said, came back down 4-1 after scoring the first goal and win it 6-5 in a shootout. I think we just get into my notes in just a second. I just need to calm down. The game finished about 10 minutes ago. That's how much time I gave myself to calm down. And that's still not enough time. But if I'm being honest, I want views, so I'm going live now. This game like from the opening puck drop. The opening puck drop was just I'm gonna get into my notes. That's the only way I can be coherent right now is by just getting to my notes. There was a great turnover about a minute into the game with this man, Brendan Gallagher, getting on the board, passing it over to Lehkonen, then getting it to Domi, who scores a minute 8 seconds in. Max Domi with his first of the game, if I can get to it right there. Max Domi, his first of the game. You're going to see a lot of first goal scorers tonight. Sadly, the shootout winner is not on this board, but I'm sure there's a reason that you can see the points leader and the assist leader is who it is. The Habs played great defense in their zone early on in the game. They got shots on net after that early goal. They were trying to extend the lead, but Michael Hutchinson, I honestly, if I'm being honest, I thought this was going to be a very, very easy game for the Montreal Canadiens. I mean, it's the backup. How well can Hutchinson do? Pretty good for a while, apparently. In my opinion, this was really the game to watch tonight. I haven't seen what any of the other games looked like as of right now. All I know is that I believe Buffalo. Oh yeah, I should probably actually. Yeah, true. Real quick, actually, y'all are about to see how I decorate this board. So if you could just give me a second, I believe. I have just the right. Okay, so we have 3 points right now. Bruins have 2, so I believe. Oh god, yes, you got to release the as well. And of course, we are no longer 10th in the conference. I'm just gonna assume here. I know for sure, or I'm pretty sure, we are 3rd in our division now, or the Montreal Canadiens, I should say. And if I believe correctly, I want to say we are now 5th. That's a terrible Habs got lucky. They really did, Jesse. They really did. If you were watching tonight, I respect you, dog. If you were legitimately not next to him, yeah, honestly, the Habs really got lucky tonight. The fact that we came back down 4-1 and win at 6-5, that's the one thing I actually have to agree with you on, is that we absolutely got lucky. Jesse, your prediction is wrong already. That your prediction is already wrong that we're going 0-82 or 0-82. So Jesse, you're not doing too good. We got 5 years up in here. We're going to get into my analysis on the Habs game in just a second. I already mentioned the first goal that was scored by Domi and with help from Lehkonen. And then, of course, this guy, Brendan Gallagher, great guy. There's a reason he's on the board quite a bit tonight. my little tiny chalk whiteboard right here. I'm hoping to get a bigger one sometime in the future, just because I want to be able to fit as much as I can on the board. I don't want to be the hockey guy with like 8 boards behind me. Not just the hockey guy. I love his content, but I want a bit of a bigger board to try and fit at least the goals. But I'm stuck with what I'm stuck. I have what I got for now. At least I got a whiteboard for my stats, my stat tracking. But yeah, so the Habs played good defense in the zone early. They got the shots on net after the early goal. Hutchinson was there to make the stops. And I'm very, very surprised that that Hutchinson was as good as he was for a good part of this game. Once we got into the third, we're going to get into the third. We're going to get into the third, and we're going to see how well Hutchinson does. I can actually, just to take up more space, I'm going to put my marker up there because that's the marker I'm using. So, yeah. Interesting stat to note. Apparently, Michael Hutchinson, before this game, had a 7.28 goals against average, and at this time is 0-2-0 against the Habs. Of course, as we know now, he's probably got a 6 point, I would guess somewhere between a 6.63 goals against average, considering we scored 6 goals on the guy, technically, of course. And he's now 0-3-0 against the Habs. So I guess from now on, anytime Hutchinson plays the Habs, expect the Leafs to lose. Matthews scores to tie it up with a bad turnover, 4.2. No, Jesse, that's not how it works in hockey. Or it might be. That might actually be it. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's not it. I mean, you just follow the Kings, but I'm pretty sure it's got to be it's got to be like a 6.6 goals against average if he's had a 7.28 before this game. But like I said, Matthews scored to tie it up due to a bad turnover from Fleury. Really can't blame Price on that one too much. Riley and Ceci got the assists. Despite that, I do think Fleury has top 2 potential because right afterwards you saw Weber on the bench talking with Fleury. I'm assuming just being like, okay, in this situation again, you're going to want to I'm not going to say what he said exactly because I'm just assuming. So I'm not going to assume he said pass it to Price and put it in your own net because that could have been what he said. You never know. Probably not, though. Tatar took a bad penalty for holding at 8:26 left. Thankfully, tonight the penalty kill really helped us out. Was really good in our favor for the most part. Of course, we did allow a goal. As you can see, it's gone from I believe it was 1 for 4 last night, or 1 for 1-3 last night to 2 for 8. We took a lot of penalties tonight. The Habs did, I should say. Nearing the 7-minute mark, the Habs didn't look too good the past few minutes, but they did kill the penalty. They killed the first Tatar penalty. And really, after the Matthews goal, the Habs seemed to really slow down, and they were just like, okay, this isn't going to be a blowout like we thought it was. Take it slow, reevaluate how the Leafs are going to play against us. Or at least that's what I thought they were going to do. And then Nick Suzuki. Honestly, Suzuki, he had a great preseason, in my opinion at least. He had a great preseason. He's not done too well in this game. I believe he's turned over 2 pucks for now the Hurricanes and the Leafs to score. I'm starting to think, I don't know if, or excuse me, Nick Suzuki, not Ryan. Ryan's in Carolina. But with Nick Suzuki being on the second line, I don't necessarily know if that's actually a good thing now. I feel like you almost call up Joel Armia to the second line and put Nick Suzuki on the third pairing with Kotkaniemi and Drouin. And arguably, and I've given Drouin a lot of shit the past, I want to say 2 weeks during preseason and whatnot. I don't know. He scored, I want to say it was a goal and an assist. If I could just look at my stats real quick in just a second. I believe he got a goal and an assist. I don't know. I mean, if he's doing, Drouin with goal and assist tonight, maybe you call him up to the second line for a game or two and then let him fonder off because that's what Drouin does. He gets hot for like a game and then goes cold for like 8. But let him on the second line, see if somehow he does any good playing with I want to say it's Domi and I forget who Domi's playing with. Lehkonen. Actually, no, you can't. Actually, you have to put Lehkonen down, and I'd rather keep Lehkonen on the second line. So, but Suzuki gets stripped of the puck. It's a terrible turnover. Alex Kerfoot scores, and he gives the Leafs a 2-0 lead. Very, very bad goal to allow for the Habs, especially someone like Nick Suzuki, who's a rookie and trying to prove himself to not get sent down, unless he's not waiver eligible, which in that case, he would just get scratched. Tavares was taken down hard by Weber, and from what I could see, it seemed like it was a really good hit. It's Weber. I'm not sure if there should have been a penalty called. I don't know if Tavares had the puck or not, but from what I saw, it looked like it was a good hit. Tripping call on Nick Shores gives the Leafs a power play with 2:03 left in the first, but a too many men penalty gets called on the Habs with about a minute 4 left for 4-on-4 hockey. And then it'll be a Leafs power play for just about 56 seconds, I believe. No, 59, excuse me. Excuse me. Habs are then 1 for 4 on the power play. Domi going at it with Kapanen after a whistle in the Leafs zone, which I really like Domi. Domi is I don't want to say he's a better player than his father, but he's a better player than his father. He can score, he can fight, he can pass the puck. Max is really impressing me since he's come over from Arizona. I even said last year, sadly I wasn't doing videos or streams back then because A, YouTube didn't have the streaming service on their website, and B, I wasn't making videos then anyways on Habs for some reason. But I was saying Domi could be good now that he's in Montreal. There's a reason that Marc Bergevin traded Galchenyuk to get Domi 1-for-1 and didn't add any draft picks, didn't take any draft picks, which arguably would have been better taking draft picks. But Domi breakout season with Montreal, and he seems to be continuing that this year with, I want to say it was a goal and 2 assists. Canada lol. Yes, indeed, Canada lol. But the Habs late in the period, they seem to be trying to get something going, but nothing seemed to deliver really. And the Leafs led 2-1 at the end of the first. Shots were 12-10 Leafs as well. And this is the thing. The team that was getting outshot only led by 1, at least at the end of the first, which I find interesting because that seemed to happen quite a bit with this game. With the, I want to say it was the Jersey Jets game last night, where of course the Devils led 4-0 and then blew it to lose 5-4 to Winnipeg in a shootout as well. Ironically enough, 2 great comebacks back to back. Which one's better? Arguably a comeback that looked like it was going to fail, but then succeeded, or a comeback that was a straight comeback. I don't know. Plus, of course, we have the comeback that the Habs had the other night against Carolina. Habs really like making comebacks this season, considering they were down 2-0 against the Hurricanes and then lost 4-3, I believe it was. My apologies if I just ear raped a bunch of you with hitting the mic accidentally. If, by the way, guys, if you people are liking the stream so far, hit that thumbs up. I'm really enjoying this. And people who are watching the VOD, hit a thumbs up, please, if you're liking the content. In the second period, Paul Byron was stripped of the puck in the Leafs zone, which was not good. And right at the end of the penalty, Kerfoot was stopped by Price on a great breakaway. It was a great save to stop Kerfoot from getting his second goal of the game and making it 3-1 for the Leafs. And I got to be honest, as this second period went on, I was thinking, even when it was 2-1, I was thinking, Habs are going to lose this, aren't they? The Habs are just not going to come back and win, are they? But, and then right after, I think that Trevor Moore scores to make it 3-1 for the Habs, which was really just weird in a way, because I did not picture Trevor Moore scoring in this game. I was expecting, of course, Matthews, who did score, and I was expecting more big names. I did not see Trevor Moore scoring. He quite impressed me with this game as a pseudo Leafs fan, even though I'm arguably more of a Blue Jays fan since I have a scarf hanging over my drum set of theirs. I would show you, but it would probably be too hard to flip the camera around and get it right back to this perfect positioning that I have it at right now. But I enjoyed the Leafs play tonight, despite them losing 6-5. They still played well for the most part. But back to the Habs, it was really shocking seeing Trevor Moore of all people score on Carey Price. But then again, you've seen, I don't want to say worse players, but you've seen more surprising people score on Carey Price. And then a really upsetting, but just a really uncomfortable image. We saw a baby crying after the 3-1 goal, and they're saying it's from the Leafs scoring, which of course, wearing a Habs little bib thing. I was like, no, it's most likely due to how loud the crowd is, not from the Leafs scoring. And if I'm a director, you don't show a baby crying. You're just getting people tuning out at that point. You're just like, I don't want to see babies crying, or you get people saying, I don't want to see babies crying. They tune to the Rangers and Senators. I don't even know who won that. So who knows? We might be sixth in the conference if the Rangers won, which they probably did because they're against Ottawa and everyone beats Ottawa. Habs did not play well in the second, up to the point where I am now. Just not good at all. And then Sean Petry going at it after the whistle. There's a lot of scrimmages after the whistles, and I think at this point it was more because the Habs were getting frustrated of being down 3-1 at the point that they were. And honestly, I think it helped them. They were getting more and more physical during the game, and it helped them. But a big scrimmage after another whistle, going with Drouin, of course, going to the box after Jesperi Kotkaniemi gets taken down, which I don't know if it's good Kotkaniemi put on 10 pounds of muscle. I mean, yes, he did score in the first game against Carolina, but still, I don't necessarily know if it's good he put on the 10 pounds of muscle, considering he hasn't really done too much, in my opinion. With, yes, it's only 2 games in the season, but still, he didn't look great tonight or the other night in Carolina. I feel like he definitely could have another season like he had last year, where he scores more at home. Yes, he did score his first away goal in his career, but I feel like Kotkaniemi this year again could have a better year at home than he does away. Do I think he scores a couple more goals away? Yeah, definitely. Not definitely, but I think he will. But if he has, say, a 30-40 point night, I want to say a good 30-35 of those points will come at home in the Bell Center. Or if for some reason we have to play a couple games in Quebec for whatever reason, then Quebec at home. Matthews hits the post. It really should have been his second goal of the game. The fact that Matthews shot it and it goes off the post, given how well Matthews plays in October, that was concerning for Leafs fans. With how well he can shoot the puck. The Habs are playing terrible halfway through the game. They allowed too many turnovers and gave the Leafs way more shots than they could give, despite keeping the game fairly close with it being 3-1 and all. Excuse me. Carey Price kept it from being a 6-1 game. I don't mean to throw shade to Keith Kincaid, but if he were in net for this game, I could easily see this being a 6-1 game at this point, where I'm at. But given how it's Carey Price in that, it's only 3-1. Tomas Tatar takes another penalty, this time for a tripping, and Matthews fans on a shot during this power play. It should have given him the hat trick with, of course, the shot that was off the post going in. And he also breaks the stick on it. So Matthews really should have had a 4-goal night tonight, since he scores again later, but we'll get to that. Matthews should have had a 4-goal night tonight, but thankfully for the Habs fans like me, he didn't have a 4-goal night. Only good part of the Habs is that Price is making great saves. The PK is doing well also. As you can tell, our PK was really good. We took 5 penalties. We took 5 penalties this game. The Leafs only scored 1 goal, and I believe that goal is passed already. I know it has not. It has not yet. So as of right now, the Habs have not. The The Leafs have not scored at all on the power play, or the Habs penalty kills, I should say. Which, by the way, in case you guys are wondering, I'm tracking this by goals we've allowed on how many times we've been shorthanded. So, for example, we've only been scored on twice on 8 attempts while we're shorthanded. These aren't Habs goals shorthanded. These are straight up other teams scored on these times when they're on the power play. Just in case you're wondering, I was feeling like I was doing this wrong and it should be 6 for 8. It actually probably should be 6 for 8. Now that I think about it, I'm actually going to change that for next game. This should read 6 for 8 for how many times we've succeeded on the power play. I'm going to do that now because that's actually really bugging me. So we've successfully killed penalties 6 times thus far in the season. I'm probably going to fix that. Oh God, that looks awful. That just looks awful, but whatever. It's the best I'm doing with limited crunch time. We're already 20 minutes in. I was hoping to get through the end of the game by now, but Drouin with his first big hit in his Habs career nearly knocked a Leaf into the bench, which I sadly did not see, but I heard from the commentators that it was a big hit. I'm going to take their word on it if he nearly knocked a Leaf into the bench. And the Leafs are controlling this period. Despite the fact that the Habs, I think, kept things fairly close in the shots, the Leafs were controlling. They were just getting everything in front of the net. Price was there, though. He was arguably being a brick wall, despite it being 3-1 at this point. But Leafs are really controlling this period. Why do I say that? Because Suzuki, when he gets a shot, he gets the first shot for the Habs in 10 minutes at that point. And you cannot be going 10 minutes without getting a shot unless you're up, say, 4-1. Ironically, unless you're up 4-1, then of course it's acceptable. All right, let the other team get shots off. We're up 4-1. There's no way they're coming back. Which I realize I'm unironically dissing the Leafs, which I really don't mean to be, but 4-1 was the first score that came to mind, and I think you guys know why. Habs start to build something up in the last minute of the second. But by the end of the second, by the end of the second, the shots are 25-21 Leafs. Habs were not doing well at all. But Price made 2 big saves on Marner early on in the third period. And I actually want to mention something real quick. Apparently Crosby fought tonight. That's very, very interesting. Considering this is Crosby's 7th fight in his career, he's not a fighter. He does not fight often. He fought and won against Pierre-Luc Dubois of the Columbus Blue Jackets in I want to say it was a 6-2 win or 8-2 win. It's either 6-2 or 8-2. I'm pretty sure it was 6-2. I don't think Jonas Korpisalo got 8 scored on him. I'm pretty sure it was 6. Even if it was 8, Jonas Korpisalo was probably pulled after 6. But yeah. So Price made 2 big saves on Marner, and the Crosby fight was really interesting. I had to bring that up so I can put Sidney Crosby in the tags and get more views. I'm going to be completely honest. I want views on this channel. I need viewer interaction. I like people telling me what they think about the videos. But yeah, so back to the Habs. Like I said, Price made 2 big saves on Marner, blah, blah, blah. Danault takes a bad tripping call, and not bad in that he shouldn't have been called for it. It was that Danault did it. Danault takes a really bad, hey, Ryan. I don't mean to be smiling like this, but it's great seeing you back in the stream. It's great seeing you back here. Wow. What a game, Ryan. Don't you think that was an insane game? And speaking of insane game, sorry I haven't been here in a while. I've been going to Leafs games. Hey, don't worry about it at all. I don't mind at all, man. The more you get to go to games, I'm sure the better it is. I don't blame you at all. Just got back from the game. It was a good game. It absolutely was a great game. It was really intense. And speaking of intense, with Danault taking that power play or taking that penalty, Willie Nylander makes it 4-1 Leafs on the power play. I was mentioning. I apologize for the mic bump. I even mentioned earlier. I said it should have been Matthews should have scored a hat trick in this game. If that goal that went off the post was in, and he didn't break his stick or fan on that shot, that thankfully he did for Habs fans. Matthews would have had a hat trick, at least a hat trick. So the Leafs, I'm going to tell you right now, the Leafs should have won this game. The Leafs really should have. They go up 4-1 with William Nylander on the power play, which makes the Habs power play 6-4-8, which thankfully I fixed that. It's at 2-for-8. We have not allowed 6 power play goals, thankfully, or 6 penalty kills, 6 goals shorthanded, thankfully. But Toronto really should have won this game. Toronto outplayed Montreal for, I want to say, a good 35, 40 minutes of this game. As soon as that William Nylander goal was scored, it seems like the Habs clicked. It's like it clicked that, hey, we just got scored on by a guy making $10 million who got 20 points last year in like 50 games. Let's just get out there and do what we do. And apparently with the Habs, it seems to be come back. They come back. They start the comeback. 11 seconds after the Nylander goal, Jonathan Drouin, who, as I've said, I've given a lot of shit, he scores 11 seconds after the Nylander goal with a big assist from Max Domi. Domi gets his second assist of the night. Sadly, he is not here because he's not the assist leader. But and I even couldn't have scored that goal earlier. And I said out loud, I was like, I said out loud, great, we're losing, but at least we're not going to lose by 3, which is kind of funny because I want to say a minute and a half, 2 minutes later, Brendan Gallagher, I wonder if Ty was there. From what I heard, I believe Ty was at the game. From what I could hear with the commentators, I believe they did say Ty was at the game. And I think he was wearing a Leafs jersey, if I heard properly during the overtime. But Brendan Gallagher scores to make it 4-3 with assists from Weber and Tatar. This man is this guy right here saved the Habs tonight. Obviously not single-handedly, but just about. Brendan Gallagher is absolutely the second star of this game. If Price is not the first star, he's the first. Brendan Gallagher played great out there tonight. But he scores with Weber and Tatar assists. Habs are getting great chances in this period, playing hard now, is what I wrote. And then Gallagher really starting to get the Habs going as Weber draws a penalty on Kerfoot. Domi stepping right up for Weber it was a cross-checking call. Domi was right in there, and then Gallagher went at it with Kerfoot. Not a fight, just scrimmaging with him. Gallagher really, really proved himself tonight that he is absolutely one of the Habs' top guys, if not our top guy right now, which is funny considering Drouin's the guy getting paid the most money for us in terms of forwards. Of course, Price is getting paid that insane contract until he's nearly 40. Weber's getting paid into his 40s, which let him go to Seattle, Montreal. I'm sorry, he's a great player. I love Weber, but we don't need $10 million on our cap like that. And then I said, Habs get a I put Habs get a power play. Habs got a power play. And I'm not 100% about this, but I believe that what happens on the power play does count as a power play goal. So just in case I did put 2 for 6. I did put 2 for 6. Oh, God. Okay, good. I didn't mess anything up. I put 2 for 6 just in case. But the Habs get a power play. And then on the power play, exactly, Ryan, stupid Kasperi Kapanen, while they're on the penalty kill, Kasperi Kapanen breaks his stick after Petry goes for a shot. So what does Kapanen do? He picks up his stick, throws part of it at Petry as he goes for a shot, ends up passing it instead. And he draws a penalty shot. Originally, it was going to be, I believe, we were talking, me and my dad were talking because I was downstairs at the game for this point, and I told him that's a 5-on-3 for 11 seconds. And then what did I say? It's a penalty shot because apparently Petry was going for the shot as Kapanen takes the stick and throws it at him. So what does Petry do? Jeff Petry on the penalty shot. And real quick before I say this, I want to does anyone know if there was any rule changes this year? Because the commentators on Sportsnet were saying, who's Julian going to choose? So it made it sound like Petry might not have taken the shot, like they were going to get someone else to. Because I know in the World Cup of Hockey last year, or the World Juniors, I think, Canada lost because they sent their injured guy out to take a penalty shot, and people were getting up in arms because he wasn't the guy. They should have let the guy who drew the penalty shot take it instead. If I remember correctly, unless the injured guy was the guy who drew the penalty shot, then they're saying they should have let someone else take it. I don't know if they've adapted that rule in the NHL or if the commentators are just dumb as they always are. But Jeff Petry takes the penalty shot, goes 5-hole on Michael Hutchinson, and ties the game up. The Habs are tied at 4 with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Just think, they are down 4-1. The Habs go down 4-1. The person that got penalized should take the shot unless injured. Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was thinking that as well. Because I was wondering during that game as well, why is I forget what's his name. It might have been Ryan Suzuki actually. Why is this guy taking the shot? He's supposed to be injured, or he's partly injured. I think he had something wrong with his wrist or something with his wrist. But he took the shot anyways, and I was like, that's weird. But to come back down from 4-1, and oh wait, I'm sort of spoiling something, but sort of smiley frowny face. To tie it up 4-4, Jeff Petry, what a goal. Jeff Petry goes 5-hole, and he ties it up. And I want to say that was a power play goal, technically. But a minute something later, who is it? Of course, it's the guy who took a terrible penalty early on. It's Phillip Danault. Habs are up 5-4. The Habs are up 5-4 with the lead from Weber and this guy, Brendan Gallagher. Brendan Gallagher with a goal and 3 assists in this game. Brendan Gallagher should go to the All-Star game. Brendan Gallagher, if he keeps his pace up, he needs to be in the All-Star game this year. If not him, at least Carey Price for the way he performed in this third period. Aside from letting in the goal, of course. The Habs are playing fantastic after getting a lead due to Danault, but with a minute 15 left. Who is it? It's Auston Matthews. Auston Matthews ties it up with an assist from Barry, and I even put Habs are totally blowing this lead as Matthews scores from Barry. I feel Matthews absolutely should be the MVP this year. They're already calling him Mr. October for having 50-something points and 40-something games in October. Matthews was the MVP of not only this game for the Leafs, he's been their MVP thus far, and I heavily regret not putting him in for my fantasy league team, thinking the allegations against him were going to affect his play at all. Honestly, like Matthews, if he's not the MVP this year, it's a Leaf. It's Marner or Tavares. My money is on if it's not Matthews, it's Marner. Honestly, I picked him first round, dude. Ryan, everyone be like Ryan. Pick Matthews right from the start and go until the end of the season with him. You won't have 12 points like me. You'll have close to 40, like I think first place does somehow, or 21, something like that. But Auston Matthews ties it up with a minute 15 left, and the goalie pulled. Might I add, the goalie pulled. The Hutchinson was pulled. He barely got off the ice, from what I heard, before Matthews tied it up. Gallagher with a great shot that just does not make it from the net. Oh God, I don't want this thing to fall. So actually, I'm gonna move it just a little over there. This guy. Late in the third, was trying so hard to give the Habs the 6-5 lead. Brendan Gallagher, a fantastic shot. He drops to his knees after it. That's how hard he was hitting it. He's all over the puck with 15 seconds left. He's taken 2 or 3 shots that just can't get past Hutcherson, and we're going to overtime. OT is dominated by the Habs. The Leafs only get breakaways, it seems. The Habs were setting up plays for Weber to get the slap shot. He was not in position, though. Yes, he was in position to shoot. He was not in his typical slap shot position. He needs to be near the blue line when you pass him the puck for a slap shot. And first off, how Michael Hutcherson did not get injured with one of Weber's slap shots, I don't know. I don't know how. But the fact that Weber could not score, he had 2 assists, so I kind of can't blame the guy. He had 2 assists, but Domi gets a really close shot that just rings off the crossbar. He's looking over at Petry like he's going to pass to him, and then at the last second, takes the shot. He just can't get it past Hutcherson. He gets it past Hutcherson, but the crossbar is there to stop him. And there was another shot. I forget who it was from. I want to say it was Drouin, actually. Drouin had a good game. I'll admit, Drouin had a good game tonight. He gets the puck, shoots it. Hutcherson stops it like right on the line, and I have no idea how he did. I have no idea how Michael Hutcherson stopped the puck at the line on the line, but no one scores in overtime. We're going to a shootout. Who's the first guy up for the Habs? The bar down man himself, Corwin. Paul Byron scores. He's the only one to score. Habs win 6-5. It's a 6-5 victory for the Montreal Canadiens in a shootout. They give the Leafs a point. The Leafs have gotten points in 3 straight games. Habs now 2 straight games. 3rd in the division, 5th in the conference as of recording this, or as of the start of this stream. We win. Oh, I just realized I did not fix this at all. I really should have. I really should have fixed that before stream. I don't know why I didn't. Our record is now, we are now 1-0-1. I'm going to erase the big 6-5 up here. I'm going to probably knock down my board if I'm not careful enough, which I am not. Our record is now 1-0-1. Our power play is now 2 for 6. Penalty kill, we're now 6 for 8. We allowed a power play goal. We allowed a power play goal tonight. I'll just say it like that. Goals leader: Tatar, Kokinemi, Wheel, Domi, Drouin, Danault, Petry, and Gallagher, all with 1 goal. Assist leader: Gallagher with 3. Our points leader: Brendan Gallagher with 4 points. Home record is still 0-0 because we have not played a home game yet. We don't play one until I want to say it's the 8th when we're against Detroit. And our away record is 1-0-1. Therefore, we win. Wow, honestly, that's a fantastic game for the Habs. They played great tonight. And honestly, hats off to the Leafs. They put up a great fight tonight. They went up 4-1, came back when they were down 5-4, tied it up, took us to a shootout. It took Paul Byron. He's the only guy that scores. Goes down to Tavares. Price makes a great save. Price, by the way, in overtime robs Mitch Marner. And just wow. That was a fantastic game. And I'm going to end it in just a minute, guys. But real quick, if any of you have any thoughts on this game, any more thoughts before I end it, please let me know in the stream because, wow, I'm speechless still about this game. I don't know how to put this into words other than unbelievable. We come back down 4-1 and win it 6-5 in a shootout. Of course, it's not a playoff game, but still. I honestly say this is a better comeback than Winnipeg and Jersey, with Jersey being up 4-0, Winnipeg winning straight up 5-4 in a shootout. We got the comeback, and then we had to fight again to score in our comeback, which the Leafs came back from, which then we came back from. So there's comebacks all over the place here. But technically, the Leafs had to come back being down 1-0. Then we had to come back being down 4-1. The Leafs had to come back from being down 5-4. We had to come back from being tied 5-5. But yeah, comeback Anderson. Comeback Anderson. um, Anderson should have been in net tonight. I feel like with last night being the Blue Jackets for the Leafs and them winning easily, you really should have started or the Leafs, not you, obviously, Ryan, because I don't think you're Mike Babcock. I'm pretty sure you're not. Unless that's the reason you're not coming to the streams, is you're busy coaching. But Mike Babcock really should have put in not Jonas Korpisalo. He's Columbus's goalie. He should have put in Hutchinson last night and then start Anderson tonight. I don't know why it was the other way around. If anything, Montreal is the much harder team since Columbus is going to be at the bottom of the league, as they have been pretty much their entire existence. Yes, I'm Mike Babcock. Oh my God. Oh, that's great to know. I got Mike Babcock in my stream. Apparently, Mike Babcock is a closet Habs fan, it seems. If Claude Julien gets fired, I'd actually be down for Mike Babcock joining the Habs. He seems like a great coach. Though my first choice would honestly be John Tortellini. John Tortellini. That's what I keep calling him, John Tortellini. Anyone who watches SpongeBob still, A, you're an OG, but B, you should get that reference. No Habs, go Leafs. Well, I mean, considering we're right behind the Leafs right now as the Habs, you might need to watch out at that point. Of course, Tampa's number one only because they're tied with actually, no, I think actually the Leafs would be number one now, actually, since the Leafs. Yeah, true, because Florida beat Tampa tonight, I'm pretty sure. So actually, yeah, Leafs are now number one by a point. So Habs are number three. And I believe they might be tied with Florida now, not Columbus. Florida, I think. So yeah, that's gonna do it, I think. I went over all the stats. I went over my notes for this. This is 42 minutes. Leafs number one. Leafs are number one in the league right now, technically. Ryan, thank you for coming out to the stream. Jesse, thank you for coming out to the stream as my moderator, even though I really didn't need you. It was a really chill stream, thankfully. Yeah, that's gonna do it. Thank you all for watching. My name is Harry Rice. Subscribe if you enjoy the content. Subscribe to join the Puff Club. Subscribe to join the HD Club. Once again, shout out to Jesse, as always, for getting me this HD webcam that I love using. Don't forget to like the video, comment, and subscribe. Favorite, share on everything, which includes but isn't limited to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, TikTok, Pornhub if they allow a sharing option for YouTube videos, I guess. I don't know if they do. You guys can let me know in the comments, I guess. My name is Harry Rice. My board is called Boardy. That's the official name for the board. His name is, I'm going to put it on the board right now. His name is, Brosdie. Brosdie is his name. Say hello to Brosdie. Brosdie is my board's name now. That's gonna do it, everyone. My Twitch and Twitter are in the descriptions. I don't tweet too often. I actually just tweeted this morning or this afternoon, actually, I think. I don't use my Twitch too often. If I end up streaming games and it's not on here, it'll most likely be on there, but I don't think I can stream because my internet's not great, aside from in YouTube streaming for some reason. My Amazon wishlist is also down there if any of you enjoy the streams a lot and want to support me the way Jesse has by sending me the webcam. Links down there. It's not optional. It's not mandatory, but if you like the streams enough and want to support me, that's your only way to do so right now. My letterbox is also in the description. I use that for when I watch movies and want to add them to my watch list and give a star rating to them. The last movie I reviewed, actually, I did review it as well, is I'm Still Here, which is a fantastic mockumentary with Joaquin Phoenix. If you guys have not seen that, please go check it out. I'm putting my hand up like the box art's suddenly going to appear. Sad, I'm not that advanced. YouTube isn't that advanced either. But yeah, that's going to do it. My name is Harry Rice, and I am out. Peace.